Hey guys, welcome back. Today is going to be a little different video than what we normally do. I bought a tent. So after we went up with the stove on the last video, I'll put that up in the suggestions. We were using that tent stove, the Nyko Trekker, and we kind of decided it didn't really work in that setup with the camper, but really got me interested in actually hot tenting. So I found one on Amazon. Actually, shout out to Lone Wolf 902. He actually pointed out this tent to me because he's working with Pomoly these days. And anyway, I'm gonna give a Pomoly LITE hot tent a try. I have not opened the packet, or I opened the box, but I haven't opened the tent out of the bag yet. So this is gonna be kind of a setup and initial impressions thing. So bear with me, I guess. So here you can see, this is the Pomoly LITE. It comes with a stove jack pre-installed. It's a TP style. It weighs in about 5.8 pounds. They say it's a ultralight backpacking thing, but you know, for its size, 5.8 is a little heavy. But $150. You can't ask any more for 150 bucks. Anyway, it's about 5.2-ish feet tall, and from what I can gather, it's like 9.5 feet wide at the base, but it's all in, I had to convert it all because it's all in centimeters. First impressions, I mean, the bag is super nice. The stitching's really nice, feels good. Even the bag is ripstop. All the stick, I'm actually really impressed by the bag itself. Pomoly only sells this on Amazon. They don't sell it on their website for whatever reason, probably because it's so inexpensive. But anyway, I've got my handy dandy ultralight peg hammer here, and we'll start kind of opening this up and setting it up. All right, so let's go ahead and get this opened up. These are not like YKK zippers or anything, but they seem nice enough. And inside we have the tent, and again, I have not opened this yet, so here goes nothing. It is tied up with a little nylon strap, so we'll keep that just in case this isn't big enough for us. Oh, the big point of getting one of these as well is I want to be able to not just go by myself, but I want my wife and the dog to go. And this is kind of small for that, but I don't know, we'll see. All right, let's go ahead and open her up. So, in here we've got some stakes. Here's the pole. They all come in their own ripstop bag. All the stitching and everything's really nice. It does have an inner mesh tent. And again, it seems really nice. I mean, for $150, pretty good quality there. Looks like it's got all reinforced corners and things. No CM mesh on the inner. And then the tent itself, you can see the Pomoly logo there. So everything on this tent is ripstop. You can see the little grid in there. It's kind of a matte finish on the outside and kind of glossy on the inside, kind of like any other tent out there. All right, so let's open the stakes, see what we got here. It looks like they're kind of tiny, but they are kind of like the MSR stakes. They're like a tri, and they're almost like the shape of like a fan. So they're not like straight fins. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. They're really tiny. I'm not sure how these are gonna hold up, at least here in Colorado. We're gonna need some bigger ones in the mountains for sure. And then pole. Looks like it's just got a rubber band around it. So it has a elastic on the inside, and it's aluminum. So yeah, looks like 5 feet something. It doesn't have like a wide piece on the top to keep it ripping through the tent, but I guess we'll see how. I'm like 5'11", almost 6 feet, so you know the tent's gonna end up here, so you'll have to do this type of thing if you want to put pants on. But all right, let's go ahead and get this started. I do want to point out I have not seen any instructions in the box or in the bag, so just throwing that out there. All right. So I don't know where to start with the tent pegs, so I'm just gonna go here, I guess. Got my pegs. Ground's a little frozen, I guess, so we'll see how this goes. I guess it's, oh yeah, it's frozen, all right. So I gotta get all my stuff out of the way. So you'll see on the on the straps there is a adjustability built into it, so you don't want it like super tight when you're setting it up. I'm not going to go too far in the ground because I want to get the pegs out of the ground. So now, see if I've done this correctly. Definitely made it a little tight. Okay, so what you need to do when you're putting these in, these are all, the adjustment straps are all the way in already, so you probably want to loosen them up as you're putting the stakes in and then cinch it down. Definitely have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. This one needs to come out here. Okay. Get my hammer. Oh. And it broke. Took me a little bit, and I still don't think I have it perfect, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say the stakes are no good. I stepped on one and it already broke. So if they break when you step on it, probably not good enough. I stepped on that and it broke pretty easily. Okay, so this tent has an already installed stove jack, and it's kind of nice because they leave you a little extra room there, so your stovepipe doesn't touch the fabric. Now it looks like this is a permanent stove jack, so if you burn out the fabric, there's no way to change it out. There are other tents out there, a little bit more expensive, but you can actually change this out. I mean, I'm not saying you'd have to, but in case this melts or something, you can't change this. So it's sewn in. There's no mesh on the door, but there is a little vent so you can get some circulation, and there's some mesh on that. There's a piece of metal in here as well, so you can bend this down and maybe okay, so this is my first time setting up a teepee. Didn't do it right the first time. Pulled out all the stakes, doing it again. Okay, so I learned that you have to stake out the 4 corners that are not the door and not the opposite of the door, and then put the pole in and then stake those. Again, not a review of my tent skills, just an FYI. Okay, let's get back into this guy. So I've noticed after doing this 5 or 6 or 8 times that this flap here, the weather flap, kind of gets in the way when you're zipping it. I mean, when it's loose, but when it's tight, you know, it closes up pretty nicely, and then it's got some Velcros to keep that shut. Of course, you can't reach that when you're inside the tent, but anywho, so let's go ahead and open this guy up. There are some guy lines as well, so you know, if you have snow load or whatever, I'd probably put these out to the stakes anyway, because when you open the door it loosens up. And I know these hot tents, when they get hot, a lot of the time you'll have the door open because it does get pretty warm in there. So anyway, let me get back to this. So this is a little vent that you have a little Velcro there, so you get some airflow. There's mesh in there. You can close that up, and then apparently you're supposed to be able to bend that, and you know, it doesn't really do a very good job, I guess. It doesn't feel like metal. It's actually like a plastic piece or something. When you're not using the stove jack, you can close this guy up. So if you're using this in the summertime, or it's you know, if you're not using the stove. Now, one thing I don't really like about this is the Velcro is not very wide, so it's kind of hard to get it lined up so you don't get any rain in there. Then you can close it up. But yeah, the Velcro is not very, it should be a little bit wider so it's easier to close up. But other than that, I mean, at least it comes with a stove jack. I know there's some tents that are pretty much the same as this one on Amazon, and they don't even come with the stove jack. You have to buy that separately, so added bonus, I guess. All right, so on the door, it's got a couple of the little toggle guys, so you can see there's some toggles there so you can keep it open. So if you're getting kind of warm in your hot tent, you can toggle those open. My goal wasn't really to use this in the summertime. This is more of a winter camping adventure type of thing, but you know, it might be good. I don't know if I'd backpack with it. It's a little heavy. Anyway, we have an inner tent that goes in here, and yeah, so if you want to stand up and get dressed, it ain't happening. You're gonna have to do it laying down. I mean, you can kind of, I don't know, it's pretty small. But let's go ahead, and this isn't made to be big. Let's get this mesh set up in here. Oh. Great.
Great. Okay.
Apparently you got to do that ahead of time. Okay, so we got our mesh inner in. They're all separate stakes. Not my favorite thing. There's a lot better tents out there where they just clip in, but of course those are a lot more expensive than this tent. So again, you can open up this mesh, and there's some door toggles here. I'm not sure we're all gonna fit, us two and the dog. But let's try it out, huh? Well, I mean, I can fit back here. What do you think? Come here, boy. Do you fit? Thanks. Here, come here. Lay down. Sit.
So I'm gonna go with
It's too small.
it's too small.
This would be great for one person.
Yes, great. And a dog.
And a dog. Yeah.
Max! Stop. Stop it.
You don't necessarily need this mesh part in the winter time, but you know, it does have the bathtub floor. This would be more for summer anyway. But I mean, one person and a dog and some gear. I mean, so again, I'm 5'11", almost 6 foot, and you know, definitely good for one person. But I would definitely not do 2 people. One thing I've noticed that is not good is the location of the stove. I don't have my stove yet, but if your pipe comes down here, I guess it's not so bad. You can get in and out without walking over your stove, but if this wasn't in here, you know, you can get around it. If you just want to get a bathtub floor without this, might be better for the winter time. But you know, it's cozy. It's not the biggest tent I've ever been in, that's for sure. It took us I don't know, a couple hours to set it up because I didn't know what I was doing. I think it's made okay. So the material is good. The zippers are kind of cheap. They're not YKK. The zipper is not the best. The material's good, the stitching is good, but the straps for the stakes, it's already ripping where you pull it tight. I mean, one person, gear, and a dog. You could fit 2 people without a dog. I'm not sure it's gonna work with a dog and 2 people, unless, of course, you take this out, which then you have a lot more room. Am I gonna keep it? Probably not. I mean, it was cheap, and it seems nice, but my wife won't let me go on solo adventures, so I'm gonna have to get a bigger tent. So guys, I know this has been a little unconventional. You know, I've never set up a teepee before, and I'm pretty excited to do this type of thing, but this tent in particular I think is too small for us. Seems pretty alrightly made, like I said. Straps could use some help. Better stakes would be good. Other than that, thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you on the next one.